much abandon that and just go with what's going on right now? Because that's about as far as I can see into the future or into the present. So
there's a lot of work going on, especially this year, deep down, recircuiting kind of work, I think, with the energy is increasing tremendously this year. And, I've experienced it as a need to stay home.
Me
and
too.
Be kind of quiet, actually.
Yes.
And get my left brain out of the way as much as I can and not try to be ambitious and plan lots of work.
Yes.
And it's very foreign to me because, I think I should be out there accomplishing and doing and yet, something saying, no, just relax, go work in the garden and watch a video and don't fret so much and just relax. And a lot of the work's being done during when you're not thinking about it.
Right.
And a lot of it is when I'm trying to sleep and I can't sleep, there's so much activity going on in the body that I think it kind of keeps you up. And possibly if you can relax into that. I mean, I've been trying to deal with these energy aberrations that go through the body. And see, how do you deal with this? Just relax. If you're going to sleep 3 hours that night, well, then that's what you need.
Right.
And not complain about it and say, oh, I didn't get enough sleep. And then if you do sleep longer, okay, great, that worked out. We don't, you have to give up all your ideas about what you think is normal.
Oh, right.
Too.
Do you find that with food as well?
Oh, yes. Either not wanting to eat much at all or then wanting a lot of something like carbohydrates or something to, I don't know, calm me down or something, So I'm not trying to inflict any big disciplines on myself this year.
Well, yeah, but good.
You know what I mean?
I like hearing that.
Well, because I think that's the mind trying to, do something in its old way. Yeah. And you have to trust your instincts about things, I think, right now.
Yes.
And have a lot of compassion for yourself and for your body.
Yes, absolutely. There's no question about that one.
Yeah, because a lot of people I see are going into hyperdrive, thinking, they're going to handle this by just getting super active and I'm going to walk every day, I'm going to do this amount of work, I'm going to research these, it's like it exhausts me.
Yeah.
It's too much for what really wants to happen right now because the big work is happening at a completely profound level. And it almost has nothing to do with the mind. Right.
And isn't it important to have an ability to have some quiet time in order to be able to tune into or pick up the subtle vibrations that we miss when we're so busy being preoccupied with getting this done and getting that done and jumping from this place and going to the store. And it seems that those activities for me take me out of the ability to intuitively tune in.
Right. Yeah, we're so distracted today, and I mean, even I mention this often to my friends about how much noise there is out in, like you go to Starbucks or someplace and there's all these loud music playing, and there's music when you get out of your car pumped into the parking lot. I'm like, Jiminy, is there nowhere that's just quiet?
Yeah.
And where, when you have silence, you can actually expand yourself through space. But when music and noise is coming at you constantly, cell phones and TVs and stuff, it's coming at you.
Yeah.
You can't expand.
Right.
You're stuck in that level of processing at the level that it's coming at you from.
Well, that may be part of what's contributing to the length of time it seems to be taking for so many people to awaken.
Could be. It's stalling us in a certain way.
It's keeping us a little bit stuck in a lower vibration.
Yeah. But I think that big thing now is we have to trust our body. and get in the body.
Yeah.
And I mean, we are the body. We are making our body out of our own vibration. And if you change your vibration and then you send that through your body and saturate your body with it, the body will heal and become, much a better, what would you call it, like a relay for your own energy into the world. It's your interface with the world. And it picks up things from the world for you, and it gives things to the world for you.
Yeah.
And, it needs to be a clear, transparent, fluid sort of system where if something comes in and impresses you, then you don't stop that energy right there at the body level. You let it come all the way up through into your awareness. And then you say, thank you, body, for picking that up for me. I see what we're getting. Okay, there's an accident down the road. Okay, I think I suddenly should not go this direction. Slow down, speed up, go left, go right. Don't eat this today. Do this today, minute by minute, moment by moment guidance.
Yes. And it's quite brilliant.
It's totally tuned in.
I had two instances, I won't go into the details, recently, where I was given signs, subtle signs, about something that I shouldn't do. And my mind just blew it off, and I went ahead and did it. And in both situations, I paid the price. And when I looked back, I thought, well, those little subtle signs were my body communicating with me that this is not a good path for you. You're not going to be happy when you get finished with this long drive or whatever it was. And indeed, it was a very painful and difficult thing to go through. So when I do that, I pay a special attention to the guidance, as you said, and if I get even the hint of not going someplace, that's it. That's the end of the story. My body has told me, I'm listening, and I'm home.
Yes.
If it changes, I'll go. But until then, I'm listening.
Yes. Yeah, I think, and it's partly a learning about the fine lines of balance between, let's say, activity and rest, and not being too sluggish, not being too hyperactive. You can take each one of those sides to an extreme, or you can let them find the harmonious balance. The male and female energy, whatever. Everything has those fine line balances. And they can go to negative polarity, so they can come into a positive polarity, where they actually feed each other like a figure eight, the two sides of yourself in whatever polarity that is. And I think that's an important thing for us to learn, is how to balance each of the kinds of polarities we pay attention to.
And not get stuck in one or the other.
Right. They're sometimes, like I said, eating. Sometimes you don't really want to eat.
Right.
And sometimes you do want to eat. And, you don't make a rule about how you always have to eat just this thing.
Yeah, right. I like that. Well, we're approaching the end of the hour, and I thought I would ask if you have any special particular messages that you'd like to share with the listeners, or any particular story that you think might be appropriate, whatever you would like to share before we have to close out.
Well, I guess that what comes to mind right away is that I had a dream once where, I get a lot of information through dreams, where I was being told that we were supposed to become transparent, and that we would be coming to an event in the future that was called the void, and that to survive the void, you had to become like the void. In other words, don't hold anything to yourself, which makes you opaque, so that you release all your contractions and your clutter and your holding patterns and, your identity, your stories, your history, and you be in the moment 100% as the soul, just pure presence, basically. And that then there would be this event, which I'm not sure exactly when it is, but it was almost like time would stop.
Mm-hmm.
And that we would, if you weren't holding on to an idea about what cause and effect thinking was or linear time had to look like, you would just blink out and then blink back again, and you wouldn't know anything had happened.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were very attached to linear thinking, it wouldn't fit the pictures. It wouldn't fit your way of thinking, your reality, and it would be, you would almost like implode. And that, so it's, I didn't think it was 2012. I think it's a little further off than that, but that there is a process going on where we need to get rid of the sense of being dense and being cluttered and become more fluid and transparent and porous. And so that's the work I think that's before us right now. It's a very intense decluttering, you know. And then, you know, you don't need as much as you think you need. You don't need even as much identity as you think you need.
Right.
Your vibration goes out for you and does the work of connecting with other people for you. You don't have to, you know, do so much with the mind.
Right, right.
So that requires faith, right? It requires direct experience of energy and spirit. It means you have to take time to get quiet and drop into yourself. That's all of what we've been talking about. Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow. Beautifully said, and definitely it seems like a lifelong task but of releasing, you know, the various aspects of myself that are no longer necessary, and that's just about everything, including including this thought I just threw out there. So I really said too. Before we go, I want to thank you for being on the show, because you're just a wonderful person, and I love the work that you're doing, and I love your 2 books, and you can mention them, and I'd like for you to mention your website and all anything else that you'd like for people to be able to find you.
Okay, thank you, Lance. That's great. Well, the 2 books that are sort of really on the market now are the Intuitive Way, which is a course in intuition development, and then Frequency, which is the power of personal vibration, which both of them have a lot of, it's like a guidebook with a lot of exercises and things you can actually do to experience the ideas that I put in there. But I also have 2 dream books. I've done a lot of work with dreams, and a book called The Present Moment. So they're all around, and my website is just my name, www.pennypeirce.com, and thefrequencybook.com is the website for the book, thefrequencybook.com. So, and I do, you know, in-person readings and phone readings, and I'll be teaching on the East Coast in Baltimore through, the second half of July for 2 weeks. And then I'll be up in Kripalu and Boston and Maine, I think, in the end of October.
Wonderful. Doing
some stuff up there. So those are my main teaching tours this year.
Oh, wonderful. Well, may you raise the frequency of all that you come into contact with, and all that you do not come into contact with, and all who listen to the show tonight, and in the future. Thank you so much, Penny.
And thank you for the work you do.
It was great fun talking to you.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.